Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. And today I want to talk about how I'm using these clocks and watches to help myself make the physical adjustment for my own body to the change for daylight saving time. When in just about 3 weeks from now, we're going to set the clocks ahead 1 full hour. But I'm going to try to ease my way into that 3 minutes at a time. Today is February 17th, which means 20 days from now, it'll be March 9th, and that is the time, that's the day when we change our clocks here in the United States ahead 1 hour for daylight saving time. So 20 days. I've decided to try and ease my way into that adjustment by adjusting by 3 minutes a day for 20 days until we reach the full 1 hour adjustment. So this clock right here, this is an atomic time receiver clock. So it's designed to pick up radio station WWVB and set itself to the right time, hours, minutes, and seconds, right down to the atomic time. But I can disable the atomic time receiver in this clock if I want to. Normally, I don't want to. I want it to be perfectly accurate. But I've done it over here with this copy of the same clock. So as you see, they are pretty close to being 3 minutes apart. So this one here, no longer receiving atomic time, but I've manually set it ahead by 3 minutes. So I'm going to keep these clocks in a prominent place in my house so I can see them. I'm going to know that this one here is correct because there are other clocks in the room that are all going to agree with this one. But I will have as a reference, as I'm slowly adjusting myself to the new time, I'll have this one. So tonight, it's going to be 3 minutes ahead like this. Then the next night, I'm going to manually set it ahead another 3 minutes. Then another 3 minutes the next night until after 20 nights, it'll be 1 hour ahead. Then I can reactivate the atomic time receiver and use this, for the correct time. I also have this clock here, which is not a radio-controlled clock, but it's got nice big digits. So again, this is 3 minutes ahead of this one. So this is another one of my reference clocks for the new time, which will gradually move ahead until it's the full 1 hour ahead. These are a couple of clocks from Oregon Scientific. So again, this one right here, the red one, this is still receiving atomic time information, setting itself to the exact correct time. Whereas this one on the right, the blue one, I've manually set it ahead by 3 minutes. And I will again keep adjusting that one. Now I have some wonderful Casio watches, including these G-Shock watches, which are capable of showing me other time zones in the world time mode. So like here's my local time on all these watches, but over here, this one, I can set it to world time. But unfortunately, the world time mode only shows me another time zone. And that'll adjust the time by a specific number of hours. Sometimes maybe it'll be 30 minutes off from, the full 1 hour adjustment. But this one will not be too friendly to me setting it ahead 3 minutes and having, the world time mode different. The world time mode cannot be offset by 3 minutes and have the local time mode still be on the right time. It won't do that with this one. This Casio Royale will not do that. Even these nice, advanced G-Shock watches here with multiband 6, I can set them to a different time zone, but I can't have it be 3 minutes off from the regular time. I could disable the atomic time receiver in this, just turn that off, and then have the whole watch be 3 minutes off. And maybe that would work if I wanted to, wear two watches at once. The other thing I could do, I suppose, is I could put this in the stopwatch mode, and then say when the real time reaches 12:57, I could start the stopwatch, and then I could have, the offset there. Just look at the stopwatch time instead of. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. But see, in this one, if I did stopwatch on this one here, this is where it would be more effective. I'd have the local time there, and I could use the stopwatch to show me, hours, minutes, and seconds, and I could just adjust this every day. But it's not quite perfect. I have, let's see, these watches here, and these are great because they got big, beautiful displays, right? And so on this one, I could have it set to on the dual time. I could set the dual time to be off by 3 minutes compared to the regular local time, but then I'm not seeing the local time and the dual time at the same time on the same display. So all these Casios that I have that are able to show dual time or world time, they're not ideal for this particular experiment. However, I do have these three. This watch here is the W735H. This one here is the W736H, and this one here is the TRT110H, which has kind of a funny viewing angle. Maybe this one needs a new battery. What these watches each can do compared to the other ones, they can show me my dual time here in the larger display underneath, and then the local regular time here in the smaller display up above. So let me just kind of show you on this watch here. I'm in dual time mode, as you can see by the DT there. And there I've set it exactly 3 minutes ahead. So then tomorrow I can set it another 3 minutes ahead and keep going 3 more minutes and 3 more minutes and 3 more minutes until eventually after 20 days, this one will be 1 hour ahead of the regular time. So I can wear this watch throughout the day and reference this as I look, and I can see, I want my body, my sleep patterns all to be based on this lower time here, this lower readout. But then I can know that the real time is that upper one. So I'm going to keep using these 3 watches here over the next few days, and maybe I'll pop a new battery into this one because it looks like it's gone dim from a battery. And these are my vibration alarm watches, and we'll just see how this goes as I utilize this watch or the other one to keep track of my experiment here. My experiment is to adjust myself by 3 minutes a day, moving ahead 3 minutes. So everything I do, the time I wake up and then, eat my meals and then go to bed. Well, now I can't adjust when I go to work or when the kids go to school or any of that. But the other things I do here in my house, what time I wake up, have my meals, go to bed, will all be adjusted by 3 minutes a day until after 20 days. I will have gradually adjusted that 1 hour change in the time, and then, I'll feel great, and I won't feel just completely exhausted or all the other things that we sometimes fear we're going to feel when we have to make that major adjustment for daylight saving time. So there you go. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video to kind of show you where you can watch the video where I'm explaining my experiment of trying to make this 20-day long adjustment for daylight saving time instead of doing it all in one night. And again, some of these watches are going to be more useful than others in this particular experiment. Some of these clocks I will utilize, and we'll just see how it goes and see if I feel great at the end of 20 days adjusting to the new time, or maybe it wouldn't work at all. We'll see. And of course, I'll be back to report the results, and you can certainly leave comments to tell me what you've tried to ease yourself into the daylight saving time adjustments. With that, I will say there will always be another episode of the Good Timekeeping Show.